Sally's pretty. She never wants to be coming out with us. So, but yeah, we'll be back a little bit later, but that's all right.
Oh, too late, mate.
Do you want to serve yet?
check. 1, 2. Audio. Beautiful. Well, yes, a very good afternoon indeed, and welcome to the Central Coast here in leafy Lisarow. Plume Park, of course, the venue for this round 25 NPL New South Wales clash between the Central Coast Mariners Academy and, of course, Blacktown City. It is Pete Pryor with you this afternoon. An absolute pleasure to have your company this afternoon, wherever it is in the world you may be watching from. Well, results overnight have seen the Mariners return to the foot of the table. Simply a point today would be enough to take them off the foot of the table and out of the automatic drop zone and the relegation playoff zone as well. In fact, Blacktown City, on the other hand, looking for 3 points today to really consolidate their spots in the top four and perhaps even that's a sneaky late charge towards Appia Leichhardt and Marconi, who are ahead of them. The team news is in. Let's take you through, of course, how each of the sides line up here ahead of kickoff at Plume Park, starting for the Mariners this afternoon. In goal, Jack Wachowski. Number 3, Chur Deng will partner number 4, Parker Williams at the heart of defence. Number 5, Harry Menem will operate at left back. The number 6, Jordan Small. Number 7, Arthur De Lima. Number 8, Lucas Shikluna. Number 9, Nico Duarte. 11, Don Neonkuru. 12, Tay Headley. And number 27, and captain this afternoon, Sash Kazevsky, returning to the starting 11. And 2 changes for Lucas Shikluna's side, which defeated Sydney Olympic by 2-1 down at Jubilee last weekend. Rocco Smith and Michael Paragalli dropped to the bench, and Sash Kazevsky and Chur Deng returned to the starting 11. 2 changes also for Blacktown City to the side, which defeated Sydney FC Academy by 2-1 as well on Friday last week. They line up as follows, of course, in goals. Number 1, Tristan Prendergast. Number 5, Grant Lynch. Number 7, Travis Major. Number 10, and captain Mario Chabot. The 12, Tyron Burney. 14, Mitch Malia. 16, Ben Berry. 18, Nick O'Brien. 22, Jacob Manatee. 23, Joey Gibbs. And 24, Jackson Bandiera. 2 changes for Mark Crittenden's men. Of course, Danny Choi and Marty Fernandez drop out of the starting 11. They do take their place on the bench, though. Joey Gibbs and Jacob Manatee in. Referee this afternoon, of course, Ivica Kovic, conducting his final checks. When we do get underway, will be the Central Coast Mariners, who will be kicking from left to right on your screens, of course, in their traditional home strip of yellow and navy. The whistle blows and away we go indeed for round 25. Shikluna just nodding that forward to find Duarte, who's done well to spin around and fashion half a chance. Scored from a similar sort of range against Spirit FC last time the Mariners were victorious here at Plume just a few weeks ago. Of course, since then, have been picking up some very handy points in the run-in. It's a real sprint to the finish from here as De Lima looks to turn and get forwards. Neon Kuru finding Shikluna. He'll swing it wide to the opposite side where Menem will link up with Williams, and Shikluna just left it a little short of Kazevsky there, but still able to free his feet enough to clip it forward. Just a second start for the season for the skipper this afternoon, Sash Kazevsky. Recently penned his first professional contract, of course, with the Mariners as well, graduating from his scholarship deal. Was very impressive in that start as well. That was, as we referred to earlier, that 3-0 victory against Spirits. Picked up a spot in Team of the Week as well. Williams back to Wachorski, who was himself in the most recent Team of the Week for the NPL New South Wales. Kazevsky tussling with Chabot. DeLima's just running out of real estate on this near touch line. Bandiera will come forward to take the resulting throw. Back with Lynch. Ben Berry driving that forwards. Manatee couldn't quite link up with Joey Gibbs, one of quite a number of this Blacktown contingent with connections to the Central Coast. Joey Gibbs. Mario Chabot on the ball there, another one. Spent a couple of years in the A-League set up here on the coast. Vitikovic waiting to see if there would be any advantage from the challenge on Tyron Burney there. There was not. Burney will now carry it forwards. Not for long though. Tay Headley smartly stealing in there. Back to Menem. Chabot just nips in there ahead of Arthur DeLima. Lynch now opening up the pitch with Bandiera. Nowhere to go. Don Neon Kuru's closed him down, and now Neon Kuru looks to stretch his legs and get forwards. Linking up neatly with Nico Duarte. First time delivery. Couldn't quite pick out DeLima. Might just pop out here for Shikluna though. And DeLima takes a couple of touches on the way through, which was enough to take all the sting out of it on the way through to Tristan Prendergast. He's been fantastic the last couple of weeks in particular, has Arthur DeLima, really growing into his role on the coast. Notched up a brace last week against Sydney Olympics. Scored the winner just a few days prior as well against Apia Leichhardt. But it's Blacktown getting forward as it looks to come in towards Joey Gibbs. Good piece of defending, though, by Harry Menem to block the cross from Tyron Burney. Well, 3 points for Blacktown today would take them to within a point of Apia Leichhardt. Of course, currently occupy third. They are in action elsewhere, mind you. Just bouncing over the head of Don Neon Kuru, perhaps just misjudging it somewhat. Bandiera lashing it goalwards, but not the connection or purchase that he might have hoped for to guide it goalwards. Jack Wachorski, once again, between the posts today for the Mariners. They've been so impressive, of course, last week against Sydney Olympic. Wachorski and Dylan Prajec-Cullen have been often battling it out for that number one spot. Prajec-Cullen currently away on under-20s duty. Neon Kuru. That's a good first touch and an even better second touch to find DeLima here as well. DeLima looking to link up again with Neon Kuru. Forced out by Barry. Tidy ball to find DeLima, who fizzes it in towards Nico Duarte. And that's a very heavy-looking agricultural sort of challenge on Arthur DeLima there as well, who goes down in a real heap on the edge of the area. In fact, is that DeLima or is that... No, that's Nico Duarte. My apologies. Very handy link-up in the initial phase of play between Duarte and Neon Kuru. Or DeLima and Neon Kuru. I keep mixing those two up, of course. My apologies. But it is Duarte who's back to his feet now, albeit quite gingerly. The resulting free kick is in a very interesting sort of range indeed. 3 standing over it. Shikluna perhaps the favourite to take. Kozevsky's also certainly very interested. He was the one who placed the ball initially. The angle perhaps favouring the left-footed option. Kozevsky himself, though, does have a very lethal right foot. Well, the Mariners have a short wall of their own in front of the ball. It will be Kozevsky to take. Kozevsky! Not far away, I'll tell you what. A wicket delivery just flashing over the crossbar there. It's almost a bit of a knuckleball free kick, really. It was moving and wobbling about everywhere. Came at Tristan Prendergast awfully quickly as well. So it remains. The deadlock yet to be broken here at Plume Park, some 8 or so minutes in. Bandiera. Clipped around the corner for Joey Gibbs, who's dropped deep to get some touches on the ball here. Small taking it off the toe of Joey Gibbs, though, and DeLima able to link up with Shikluna. Shikluna, no options in front, just forced to go back and recycle here. Dang and Williams, and forward it will go for Headley. He's dropped inside. Inverted a little bit to operate perhaps as more of a deep-lying number 10 or a number 8 even, if you will. Wachowski driving it forwards. It's going to come straight back at them, though. Cherdeng, well, Blacktown felt that Cherdeng had a handful of Joey Gibbs' shirts. Ivitsakovic unmoved. Menem finding Headley, small now. Again, Headley. Back to Parker Williams. He's been bundled off it, though, by Nick O'Brien. Only momentarily. Lucas Shikluna stepping into great effect and able to dig it out from underneath him as well. Wide it will come towards Neon Kuru. Didn't have the beating of Bandiera, though. Bandiera looks to clip it forward. Well, just on a different wavelength to Mitch Malia there. Deng. Central it goes towards Headley. Spins away from the contact to great effect. Now Neon Kuru looking to slide it into the half space for DeLima. He's done well to pick it up in the first instance, but not so well to find a teammate, unfortunately, for the Mariners. Gibbs, great strength to hold off the advance of Cherdeng there. Little triangles forming here for Blacktown. Mitch Malia feints and then finds a teammate in Nick O'Brien, whose advance is halted. They'll swing it out to the right with Burney now. Lynch. Bandiera, who's stayed forward. One touch to set himself, second touch to cross. Don Neon Kuru just slicing his clearance somewhat. Under relatively little pressure as well. And behind for a Blacktown City corner, first of the afternoon. Mitch Malia providing a half press there, but just skewed off the shin of Neon Kuru. In swinging corner, oh so deep as well. A little bit too much on it. Blacktown unable to make any meaningful sort of contact on it there. Wachowski just inviting the press before eventually clipping it forward centrally, as they so often do. Headley again, who's drifted inside. Had Menem overlapping, uninterested. Shikluna. Parker Williams now. Just looking to settle it down. Headley able to turn. And turn back the other way as well. Now looking to increase the tempo a little bit here, the Mariners. Headley looked to clip it forward for De Lima. Lynch there first. Parker Williams able to get there ahead of Manatee, but unable to keep it in the field of play. Long it goes towards Joey Gibbs again. Couple in the area to aim for. Lurking at the back stick was Mitch Malia again, who'd stolen a bit of a march on his defender. It's an awfully awkward height for the number 14, Mitch Malia. Again, another one with connections to the Central Coast. Did come through the academy on the coast, did Mitch Malia. Some time at Marconi as well, and Sydney FC. He did retire ahead of the 2023 season, but very much on a comeback tour now, Mitch Malia, which today lands him on the coast. Don Neon Kuru, that's a pretty agricultural sort of challenge there from Neon Kuru on Bandiera. Just getting all tangled up. Little flick around the corner from Gibbs. Jordan Small. Major. Just a free kick at the end of it all. Parker Williams. And Deng will get us back underway now. Williams looking to launch it long this time. It should be pretty regulation that for Bandiera. Well, Don Neon Kuru linking up with De Lima. Building here from the Mariners with Small. He's looking to swing it wide for Headley. Couldn't pick out his target though. Chabot linking up with Malia now. He's got a couple of yards to stride into. Williams able to comfortably deal with the cross, I should say, my apologies. And De Lima now. Duarte. Bit of aerial tennis between the two of those. Kuzevsky back with Shikluna. Mariners content just to play a bit of keep ball here. DeLima. Brings Lynch along with him. Space for Shikluna to move into ahead of him. Neon Kuru tangled up with Bandiera. Well, it was 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Neon Kuru bringing his opponent down with him, though. Back underway with Bernie. Well, we're going to see an early change here at Plume Park. It looks like Mario Chabot is going to be withdrawn from the action. You have to think that maybe he's just picked up an injury in back play there. He wasn't moving entirely freely. Marty Fernandez on to replace him. And that's certainly a blow for Blacktown City indeed. So early in this one, only 17 minutes on the clock, and Mario Chabot, who is so often the talisman for Blacktown City, forced to withdraw. Marty Fernandez, of course, a very capable deputy indeed, but it's the Mariners now on the march. DeLima again linking up with Nico Duarte. Becoming a recurring theme in the back end of this season. It's been to super great effect as well for the Mariners. Kuzevsky able to burn around Bandiera. Kuzevsky fizzing across the face. It's just a fraction ahead of DeLima. We'll look to retrieve it here. Unable to reach it though, Maniti. Joey Gibbs. Well, that's a pretty obvious sort of one from Lucas Shikluna, and he's perhaps lucky to not find himself in Ivica notebook here. Definitely had a handful of shirts. Breaking up the Blacktown City counter before it even really got going. But Bandiera now. Fernandez. Left a bit short of Mullier. It's a great challenge, though, from Kuzevsky. Neon Kuru. Harried back to Wachorski. Shikluna. Well, it was sort of halfway between Jordan Small and Parker Williams. Parker Williams taking charge of the situation. Headley. Oh, that's a great turn from Tay Headley. And they'll look to drive it forward into the channel rather for Duarte. Comfortably dealt with, but the Mariners just looking to move it a little bit quicker in transition there. Shikluna. All the way back to Cherdeng. Kuzevsky moved forward on this near touch line to try and open up the pitch a little bit. It might find him or come out in his direction in the end. Lucas Shikluna's just dropped into that back three there. Central it will go. Good strength again from Duarte. Now DeLima looks to free his feet. Does find Harry Menem. Thought about the shot. Instead forced back. With Shikluna. Good feet from the Mariners number 8. And linking up with Kuzevsky. Parker Williams. Well, a sustained period of possession here for the Mariners with Headley bursting into the area. Will it be Tay Headley? Blocked off. Building nicely that from the Mariners as they look to really stretch Blacktown out of shape. Tay Headley on the end of it. A very well constructed move indeed. They'll have a corner for their endeavour as well. Sash Kuzevsky moving across to take. Leon Kuru coming across to provide a short option. Does come towards him, and then the in-swinging delivery floated all the way out of play from Kozewski. He's an important inclusion in the side, but particularly across that back four for the Mariners is Sash Kozewski. Of course, just has a few more years of experience and perhaps wisdom over many of his teammates, especially with such a young backline. Cherdeng, Parker Williams, Harry Menem. Just 17 and 18 years old. Sash Kozewski, the relative veteran at 23 years old. Shikluna forced back to Ashorski. Well, they're able to dig it out of their own 18-yard box and out of their own half as well. De Lima now causing a couple of headaches for Grant Lynch. Lynch, well experienced, winning out momentarily anyway. The Mariners able to pick it back up on halfway. Shikluna just looks to settle it down with Parker Williams. Well, Bandiera nearly playing his way into trouble. Took a touch off Neon Kuru on the way through. Malia able to step in and take control. You can hear, as we alluded to, that experience from Kozewski just coaching his teammates through the game there. Advising Neon Kuru and Jordan Small of their positioning. No way through for Blacktown as a result. Forced to swing it wide to the far touch line. To some effect as well. Bernie. Still going, Bernie, riding a couple of challenges. He'll return the received pass from Fernandez, but that's a great ball and all challenge. And now the Mariners look to be rapid in transition themselves. Shikluna has his heels clipped on the way through. Mariners feel perhaps the yellow card could have been shown to Grant Lynch. Certainly an experienced challenge from the Blacktown City number 5. Breaking up the attack. It's one of the few rapid counter-attacks, I should say. My apologies. The Mariners have looked to construct today, more measured in their approach. As Menem again linking up with Jordan Small that time. Malia. A couple of yards of space around him as well. He has Bandiera offering support. Malia. Mitch Malia. Sighter for Mitchell Malia. Jack Wachowski had a long time to see it. He's certainly capable from that sort of range, though, is Mitch Malia. Was on the score sheet last time these two sides met as well. As the Mariners once again looking to play their way out. Tay Headley couldn't quite bring it under his spell. Maniti. All the way back to Prendergast, and now Lynch. Aerial tussle here between Deng and Joey Gibbs. Deng ultimately winning out. Berry able to find Bernie. It's Blacktown's turn to try and push and probe and stretch the Mariners here, trying to find an opening. Mitchell Malia measuring the cross. Back stick it goes. Wonderful work from Harry Medham. It's going to come straight back in at them though. Rising is Wachowski, plucking that out of the afternoon sky here in Lisarow. Vitsakovic just gently urging Wachowski to get on with it. Who duly obliges. Now Deng clips forward in the direction of Nico Duarte. There's a bit of a head clash there as well. The free kick will be given for the challenge on Shikluna, just allowing Vitsakovic as well to check on the welfare of the Blacktown player after that head clash between he and Nico Duarte. Oh yeah, just seeing on the monitor here. Looks like it is Ben Berry who felt the full force of that one. Nico Duarte, of course, a very fierce competitor. He's straight back up and about. He'll go and get himself a drink as well and some instruction from the Mariners bench. Well, plenty of action across the NPL competition this Sunday afternoon. 3 games scheduled in that 3 p.m. time slot. Of course, we are here on the coast, just halfway or just over halfway through the first half. We are still deadlocked elsewhere. Sydney United currently in action against Apia Leichhardt. That one also 0-0. And down at Wollongong, just over half an hour through that one. It is Wollongong currently leading St George. Ben Berry's going to have to go off here and get some further treatment. Mariners do get us underway. Blacktown temporarily down to 10. Fernandez. Mariners looking to really box in Blacktown here. Medham now for the Mariners. Again, looks to link up with Tay Headley. Well, a win for Wollongong this evening would certainly really keep the cat amongst the pigeons, not only in the top 6 race, but also in that bottom 5 or even perhaps 5.5 or 6 race. Really now, of course, as it stands, the live ladder, the Mariners with a point here would go above Sydney FC. Equal with points on Sutherland, but behind by a solitary goal on goal difference. 3 sides on 22 points as it stands, with St George currently down by 1-0 against Wollongong. They would be on 23, so just a point ahead, and then a point further ahead, Hills United, of course, after their victory last night. We are going to see that change. Ben Berry unable to continue. Fair enough too. It was a sickening sort of head clash really with Nico Duarte. Must have a head made of steel, Nico Duarte, really. Danny Choi, a very capable replacement, of course. Scored last week out against Sydney FC. From the spot, here is Danny Choi. Absolute live wire attacker. Bandiera couldn't measure the pass. Deng watching it out into touch all the way. Kozewski. He's just thrown possession away somewhat there. Travis Major able to steal in there ahead of De Lima and Duarte. Fernandez and Choi. Firm challenge from Parker Williams there, and Headley able to link up with Nico Duarte, who's immediately surrounded by 4 Blacktown City shirts. Bundled off it. And De Lima's gone down. Ivicakovic is having a think about it. Just a corner signalled by Ivicakovic. Well, it's not De Lima, it's Nico Duarte actually who drew the contact. We'll just have a look as to how that played out. It was Bandiera who left it a fraction short, I should say, of Grant Lynch. Nico Duarte smartly able to steal in there, but it's possibly looking for it. Well, they'll have a corner for their troubles, though, the Mariners. Travis Major doesn't agree with the concession of the corner. But he doesn't really have to, does he? Kozewski will be the outswinging delivery from the right boot of Sash Kozewski. Will he go short to Nyonkuru? No, he'll whip this one high and deep, and it will work its way all the way out to Shikluna, who'll swing it back in towards Deng. Nyonkuru, Kozewski. You can see what he was trying to do. Just lash it into that top corner. Sometimes they hit the corner flag and sometimes they go in. Well, this one didn't quite go in for Sash Kozewski. Certainly worth a go. Lynch. Able to skip around De Lima as well, to great effect, Grant Lynch. Winding back the clock there. Well, De Lima will have the free kick for the handball against Jacob Maniti. Kozewski skips inside Choi. Able to link up with De Lima as well. Ivicakovic just considered his options there, whether the advantage would be played. He'll pull it back for the free kick. Fairly late challenge that on Sash Kozewski. The Mariners with a chance to mount another raid on Blacktown City's goal. It's been a half of very few, if any, really clear-cut opportunities. Kozewski with a chance to create some mayhem here. Teasing delivery, it's towards Deng. Gets the shot away as well. He'll find Nyonkuru. Kozewski will have it again on the edge of the area. Nyonkuru offside, that's needless. Just as it was building nicely there for the Mariners, it was ripped away in a flash by the linesperson's flag on this near touch line. That's Nyonkuru. Just not aware of his surroundings, perhaps. A little slow in getting back. And he'll switch flanks as well with Tay Headley. It's Blacktown able to dig their way out, though. Fernandez. Oh, good challenge from Shikluna. Then Nick O'Brien has his heels clipped on the way through. Maniti gets us back underway. Blacktown perhaps sensing something here. Fernandez. Again, they can't force their way through what has been a fairly resolute Mariners back four so far this afternoon. Danny Choi looking to dance around Kozewski. Well, he's able to get the cross behind Kozewski, but not past Headley. Headley's left it awfully short of De Lima. Travis Major playing as perhaps a makeshift centre half this afternoon now. Headley. Choi's just slipped. Kozewski trying to go through the inside of Fernandez. Well, he's done well to pick up what he lost, and that's a scything, awfully late challenge that from Danny Choi, and he's going to have to go here. Ivitsakovic, well, he had the red card out initially. And that's not the best challenge you'll see from Danny Choi. Just having a look at the replay of that, it was a scything scissor sort of motion from Danny Choi as he went through the back of Kozewski there. They'll shake hands at the end of it all. Well, Kozewski and Danny Choi. Kozewski's back up and about, which is a good sign. Of course, he had that horrific knee injury throughout the course of last season. Ivitsakovic originally had the red card out of his pocket, but just a yellow at the end of it all. And Blacktown, again, awfully quick to press Cherdeng. Choi and Joey Gibbs and Marty Fernandez all combining to affect that press. As momentum perhaps swinging the way of Blacktown here. Forced all the way back to Prendergast for the time being. Oh, just forcing the pass perhaps there. All the way through to Ashorski. Dang. Takes a couple of good touches as well to take Choi and Joey Gibbs out of it, but he can't stick the pass. Choi's got a couple of yards of space to fashion something here now as well. No way through Parker Williams though. Headley. De Lima couldn't quite retain it. He'll have the throw though. Kozewski gets us back on the move quickly. Duarte forced into touch by the Major. Nick O'Brien. Again linking up with Travis Major, as we said, playing as a bit of a makeshift centre half this afternoon. Well, the move's broken down, and now the Mariners looking to slide one in for De Lima. It's Duarte measuring the pass. Neon Kuru now. De Lima. Duarte. Just looked to side foot it there, Nico Duarte. It's comfortable for Bandiera, and Choi completing the clearance. Jordan Small. Shikluna and Kozewski linking up. De Lima, my apologies, and Kozewski. Parker Williams striding forward from the heart of defence. And now Neonkuru. Wonderful feet again from Don Neonkuru, bursting into the area. Looking for the cutback is Neonkuru. It's chaos. It's Headley. It's the crossbar. Prendergast has spilled it though. And it's going to just be a free kick at the end of it all. Well, it's an absolutely chaotic sequence of play. And the Mariners contingent seemingly in disbelief as to how they haven't found the back of the net there. Tay Headley swinging the right boot at it. Cannoned off the underside of the crossbar. Prendergast coming out to claim eventually and was fouled before De Lima looked to prod it goalwards. Well, that's the closest either side have come in this first half. Joey Gibbs, again, unable to find a way through Lucas Shikluna there. It's been tough going for Blacktown this afternoon, forced into those two changes as Lynch looking to step forwards. Wachowski was in two minds as to whether to come and has turned home at the end of it all. The substitute, Marty Fernandez, in the blink of an eye, has put Blacktown ahead here on the coast. We were just saying it's been a tough afternoon at the office, but that will certainly ease the pain somewhat for Blacktown. They've already lost Ben Berry and Mario Chabot from the starting 11. But Marty Fernandez has given Blacktown the go-ahead goal here on the coast. Well, that will sting for the young Mariners, who've been oh so good for most of this first half. That's the long ball in behind, which has cost them. And he can't afford to have any sort of lapse in concentration against a side like Blacktown City. Take nothing away from the finish, of course. Joey Gibbs. Apologies, that was Joey Gibbs laying it off there for Danny Choi. Swinging the cross in. The Mariners able to clear it as far as Tay Headley. He's got a bit of space to stride into now, Headley. Oh, he's slipped as well. Williams. Menham. Leon Kuru taken off his toe by Fernandez, but Ivitsikovic has spotted something in the build-up there. Whipped into the area once again by Kozewski. Once again, Blacktown City able to repel another raid. Danny Choi juggling that. Bandiera. O'Brien. Across the back it goes now for Travis Major. Wide it will go for Bernie. Cross in towards the head of Gibbs. It's just flashing over the head of Blacktown City's number 23. And O'Brien again has slipped. Able to dig it out eventually. Choi. Well, it's getting a little bit feisty out there. Marty Fernandez now, the goal scorer. And Maniti Lynch completing the triangle with Fernandez, and now Danny Choi looking to slide one in behind from Malia. Good feet from Mitchell Malia. Maniti! Oh, good save from Jack Wachowski. Had to fling himself across to his left just about at full stretch as well. Wonderful work in the lead-up from Fernandez and Choi and Malia to really fashion the chance as well. Dancing feet from Mitch Malia, winding back the clock somewhat. Maniti at the end of it, but denied by a fantastic save from the Mariners gloveman. Right at the death of the first stanza here at Plume. It's not over yet though, as Blacktown look to further their advantage with the corner. Floated towards the back stick. Rising is Deng. Grant Lynch will pick up the scraps. Flicked towards goal by Major. And then hooked away by Menem. Malia wants to get things on the move quickly. Cross is blocked off. Nico Duarte hears the shout from his goalkeeper. And leaves it for Jack Wachowski, and that will indeed be the final action of the first stanza of this one here at Plume Park. Blacktown City currently lead by a goal to nil, courtesy of the substitute Marty Fernandez. A tale of, or a half of very few sort of clear-cut chances. The Mariners went closest through Tay Headley, who rocketed one into the underside of the crossbar. But a very intriguing second 45 minutes of action to come in this one. We're off to a short break here on the coast, so make sure that you do join us for the second stanza in about 15 minutes' time. Well, a very warm welcome back to Plume Park, of course, for round 25 of the NPL New South Wales men's competition. It is Blacktown City with the slender advantage here, courtesy of Marty Fernandez. A wonderful dinked finish over Jack Wachorski, proving the difference right at the tail end of the first stanza. 45 minutes of football to come. And a few more twists in the tail, I suspect, as well. Choi! Again, a very good plunging save from Wachorski. Once again, down to his left, at full stretch. Danny Choi. That would have been another one for the highlight reels for sure. An early corner here for Blacktown City. Well, very nearly starting the second half with a bang. In-swinging delivery, it's right on top of Wachorski, and a comfortable take for the goalkeeper. He just looks to roll it out to Kazevsky. We've had a change at half-time as well for the Mariners. Lucas Smythe into the action. As Lucas Valela looks to chase the game. Looks like Tay Headley has taken his leave, so perhaps a front three for the Mariners of Duarte, DeLima and Smythe. Parker Williams just trying to force it through Mitch Malia there. And spotted Neon Kuru on this near touchline. Maybe thought about the same move a second time, but instead goes central. Smythe hooks it round the corner for DeLima. Kuzevsky wants to isolate Bandiera, able to clip it in. Lucas Smythe on the turn. The Mariners half-heartedly appealing for a handball. Vitsakovic quick to wave those claims away. And the Mariners look to recycle now. Duarte couldn't stick the pass. Comfortable for Bernie. Major, and now Malia. Malia barged off it rather by Harry Medham. Travis Major to resume proceedings here. As we said, playing as a really makeshift centre half. Mark Crittenden's sides quite threadbare at the moment. I suppose you could say they had to, or they were forced into two first half substitutions. Mario Chabot leaving the pitch after just 17 minutes. He did come into this game under somewhat of an injury cloud. Ben Berry as well forced off after a head clash with Nico Duarte. Bandiera again looking to go long. Wachorski this time decided early. Gets a knee to it, and Deng will complete the clearance. It was the long ball, of course, that caused the Mariners' downfall. Meanwhile, it's Prendergast getting himself all tied up in knots there. Closed down so quickly by Nico Duarte. The clearance cannoning off the legs of the Mariners' number 9 and allowing Prendergast to gather it safely in the end. Danny Choi looks to have the beating of Kazevsky. Not quite on that occasion. The Mariners able to dig it out. Played forward by Shikluna towards Duarte, who has Grant Lynch taking his legs away from underneath him. Fascinating battle between these two sides, as we said. Mariners simply undone by a long ball over the top from Grant Lynch in the first half. It's a difficult one for the goalkeeper to judge as to whether to come out and claim or stay and wait for the effort instead. Seemingly caught in two minds. That's a wonderful ball to find Kozewski in a couple of yards of space. Wants to isolate Choi and go around him, and does. Now looking to measure the cutback for Smythe. Smythe was able to get there, but a very timely intervention indeed from Grant Lynch, preventing Smythe from turning that home at the near post. Well, the Mariners are knocking on the door here at Plume. They'll have a corner for their endeavour as well. Neon Kuru again offering an alternate option. Swung into the area and cleared by Maniti. Kozewski again operating on that far touchline. No avenues afforded to him. Back with Deng, and Kozewski again looks to slalom through. Contact in the back of Sash Kozewski there. Well, action elsewhere, as we said, in the New South Wales men's NPL competition this afternoon. It is as it was. Meanwhile, back underway with Shikluna and Kozewski. Cleared by Tyron Burney. As we said in the first half, Wollongong currently leading St George FC. Sydney United still deadlocked with Apia at 0-0. Further action to come as well this afternoon. 5 o'clock, Sydney Olympic will be playing host to Rockdale. Rockdale absolutely flying atop the table at the moment as Cher Deng looks to unlock something for Nico Duarte there. Watched all the way back to Prendergast by Travis Major. Choi. Major and Lynch. Banziera. Well, Travis Major, you can perhaps sense the disappointment as the ball was just a little too far ahead of Burney and a little too far behind Danny Choi. Blacktown also without their leading goal scorer this afternoon, Jack O'Brien. Picked up an injury during the week at training. Perhaps just looking to keep him wrapped up in cotton wool ahead of the Waratah Cup. He was also out suspended for their last match. That 2-1 victory over fellow academy side Sydney FC, who are also very, very firmly embroiled in that relegation dogfight at the moment with the Mariners and Sutherland and St George and Hills. Perhaps even Spirits FC and Manly United. It's oh so tight in those bottom spaces as Neon Kuru looks to free his feet here. Duarte, small. Something cooking here perhaps for the Mariners. Well, no, says Danny Choi. Really smartly stolen in indeed. And now Fernandez. Choi. Fernandez, well, it was just left a little behind him. De Lima now, who's operating on that right flank, following the departure at half-time of Tay Headley. De Lima. Duarte. Again linking up with De Lima. Smythe. It's smart from Travis Major there. Had body position. The final touch is off Travis Major though, so behind for another Mariners corner. Again, Neon Kuru offering the short option. Kazevsky will look to swing this away. Cherteng! The Mariners have levelled it. Parity restored at Plume. It was a wicked delivery from Sash Kazevsky. And Cherteng leapt highest. Well, not a bad time to score your first goal of the season for Cherteng. And in all fairness, it's probably no less than the Mariners deserve. They've been huffing and puffing. A towering header from Cherteng. Well, we did say there was perhaps a few more twists in the tail to come in this one. And, well, with about 35 or so minutes to go here at Plume, I'm sure we're not done just yet. Plenty more chapters to be written in this one. Bandiera blocked off by De Lima, and it's just going to run out of play ahead of the Mariners' number 7. O'Brien linking up with Fernandez. Gibbs. Wide it goes again for Bandiera. Danny Choi looks to have switched flanks again. Major. And Bernie. Fernandez couldn't ride the challenge. Lucas Smythe now awaiting the supporting cast. Duarte. Bit of an up and under as well. Slide rule ball. Again, Travis Major has body position, and that's the experience and the football IQ of Travis Major. Getting between Lucas Smythe and the ball. Drawing the contact as well to win the free kick. Just relieving that pressure valve for Blacktown City. Prendergast will launch this one forward. Over the top it goes towards Malia. Taken off his toe though now, and Harry Menem with the opportunity to advance. Neon Kuru. Parker Williams. Menem wants it on this near touchline. Williams forced back to Wachowski. And the Mariners just about able to play through the press here. Williams just looks to settle it down now. Wachowski again, just waiting to see if the press would come. Cherteng. Duarte. Well, Duarte seemingly frustrated by the positioning of that flag on the halfway line. Meanwhile, Bernie. Travis Major again, just directing those around him. Playing conductor here as he looks to open up the pitch with a raking crossfield ball. Maniti. Back with Lynch. There was a ball in the first half, a long ball over the top from Lynch, who unpicked the lock at the back. Couldn't stick the pass though that time. Deng's clearance, unable to find a teammate, and it's going to come straight back at them. O'Brien and Fernandez, the goal scorer. Just pushing and probing and awaiting an opening here. De Lima, who's dropped deep to assist his teammates. Only able to find Lynch though. Sure, Deng's seen just about enough of that as he puts his foot through it, but Blacktown once again able to reload with Major. Malia. Wonderful feet once again from Mitch Malia. Burning around the outside of Menem. Don Neonkuru with a timely intervention this time. Shikluna able to stride forward centrally. Well, not the pass that's required that time from Shikluna. Well read, telegraphed all the way rather from Grant Lynch. Now Choi, oof, tell you what, certainly had Jack Wishorski very interested indeed. Looked like it might have just been creeping inside of that right hand upright, and Wishorski not taking any chances there, tipping it around the outside of the post. Blacktown with the latest opportunity here from the set piece. In-swinging delivery. Rising again is Cher Deng. Bandiera now. Again, it's fizzed in towards Major. Wishorski alert to it. Knotted down by Travis Major, who'd stayed forwards. Directed goalwards, but couldn't quite crane the neck muscles enough to get the real power behind it that it needed to beat the goalkeeper. Williams. Menem going long this time. Prendergast had to come a long way off his line to claim it. Parker Williams has just got himself tangled up there, allowing Joey Gibbs to take it off his toe. Now Malia. Maniti swings in the cross. Cher Deng sending it back from whence it came. O'Brien again swinging it wide for Choi. Wonderful challenge from Shikluna now, who's able to stride forwards. He's left his pass far too short of Don Neonkuru, though. That's a relatively simple job for Tyron Burney to clean up. Now Malia. Again, wanting to isolate Menem. Don Neonkuru and Menem really double-teaming Malia there. And Travis Major's given his goalkeeper a bit of a puzzle to figure out. How's your touch, he asks. Not bad, says Tristan Prendergast. Major, again, head up and scanning, assessing the options in front. One of who is Bernie. Now O'Brien. And again, they look to swing it to the opposite touchline. Choi. Building nicely once again. It's a wicked deflection to take it onto the crossbar. Bernie. And dogged defending, really, from the Mariners. Really last-ditch stuff. The goal just about remains intact. Still locked up at one apiece. Bandiera. Lynch. O'Brien gets there ahead of Shikluna. This time Shikluna gets there ahead of O'Brien. Now Kuzevsky. Able to bustle his way through the challenge of Fernandez. Lucas Smythe, well, just went a fraction of a second early there. Did Lucas Smythe. As he looked to guess in behind Grant Lynch and Travis Major. It's been a fascinating battle between these two sides here at Plume this afternoon. Very much a game where momentum hasn't really been grasped by either side at any particular point in time, but has still yet managed to swing so wildly from one end to the other. Bernie with the cross. It's just a little bit behind Joey Gibbs. Stretching just about every sinew to contort himself into a position to be able to guide it goalwards. Of course, as we said, so much action across the New South Wales NPL competition last night as well, as Nico Duarte has a couple of yards to maybe fashion something here. Duarte lays it off for Shikluna. Looks to go around the outside of Bandiera. Wants a free kick, but it's just a good ball and all challenge from Bandiera. Now Gibbs, first time ball clipped around the corner for Choi, who's got a few yards to drive into here. Holds it up, awaiting the supporting cast, which arrives in the form of O'Brien. Maniti. Choi. Fernandez, who scored the opener. Looking to link up with Gibbs. It's just a bit of chaotic ricochet pinballing around in the area before eventually going behind. Final touch off Fernandez, I fancy. As we said, a number of those sides involved in that relegation dogfight in action last night. Sutherland and Sydney forced to share the spoils in that 0-0 deadlock. The Hills picking up a crucial 3 points, a 4-1 victory over Spirits FC. Parker Williams, well, nearly playing his way into trouble. You can breathe a bit of a sigh of relief there as Joey Gibbs just going through the back of Williams in his over-eagerness to apply that press, try and force the mistake. Smythe has Grant Lynch absolutely touched tight to him. He's done well to ride the challenge. Kuzevsky gets there just ahead of Choi. Bandiera was racing forwards. Final touch off Jackson Bandiera. It'll be interesting to see how Mark Crittenden uses his bench. As we said, forced into the two first half substitutions as this one is swung wide. A wonderful ball from Kuzevsky to release Neon Kuru, who looks to drive into the area here. Looks to cut it back as well. It's not the purchase required. It looked like it just bobbled up off the surface here at Plume. Neonkuru unable to make any real meaningful sort of contact. And again, it's just little things at the crucial moments for the Mariners. It's so often been the story of their season, really. About 20 or so minutes to go here at Plume. Outside of the football as well to find Smythe. Tussling with Major. Lynch able to dig it out. And they'll again look to open up the pitch here with Malia. Does well to keep it in. Couldn't quite get around the outside of Menem though. O'Brien. Now Choi. Wachowski certainly had a long time to see it. The gloveman confident that he had his angles correct. Happy to watch it sail over the crossbar in the end. Now, it will be Lucas Valela who'll go to his bench. A double change here with Arthur De Lima being withdrawn as well as Don Neonkuru. Rocco Smith will come on. As well, Agieg Aluk. Which will see a bit of a reshuffle as well. I fancy Sash Kazevsky may now look to play higher up. Rocco Smith to slot in at right back. Duarte. Smythe. Jordan Small. First touch here for Rocco Smith, who was very highly praised for his performance at the heart of defence last week against Sydney Olympic. Smythe dropping deep and turning away from the attention of Manisi. Now Rocco Smith. Sash Kazevsky unable to reel it in. Blacktown able to play their way out relatively comfortably. Churten getting there ahead of Bandiera. Well, still two substitutes available for Lucas Valela should he choose to use them. Michael Paragalli has played much of the season at right back. Still on the bench, the other outfielder on the bench, Hayne Eames, who recently signed a 3-year scholar deal with the Mariners. Aluk linking up with Smythe. Round the corner it goes for Shikluna and Ivica. Quick to flash the yellow card in the direction of Nick O'Brien there, who protests his innocence. Just left a bit of a trailing leg, perhaps there, as Shikluna looked to burst through centrally. It was a handy ball, of course, from Lucas Smythe. He's just a little bit late coming through there, is Nick O'Brien. So, Jordan Small to get us back underway. Nico Duarte looking for the aerial route. Not quite on the same wavelength as Lucas Smythe. And you can perhaps hear what the Blacktown City faithful think of the appeal of for the free kick, I should say, from Nico Duarte there. Smith, all the way back to Wachowski now. Menem. Still striding forward here is Harry Menem. plenty of options, one of who is Duarte, who just left it behind Smythe. Look, able to chase down Mitchell Malia. Of course, he's got the fresher set of legs. Bandiera tussling for it with Kuzevsky. Small emerging with it. Aluk looking to bring this one out of the sky and does so. Now Shikluna. Shikluna! That's his range. And Prendergast has done oh so well to tip that one behind. He scored from a similar sort of range here against the Wanderers, did Lucas Shikluna. He wasn't far away against Apia on Wednesday night as well. I'll tell you what, that's a very good save indeed from Tristan Prendergast to keep honours even here on the coast so far. It's moving about everywhere in the air. In-swinging delivery towards the back post. Prendergast with a good claim, plucking that one out of the sky and getting things back on the move oh so quickly. Danny Choi and Sash Kazevsky tussling for this one. Rocco Smith joining the party. Bandiera swung in towards the back stick. Harry Menem maybe didn't get the communication required from his teammates there under relatively little pressure. Forced to nod that one behind. Maniti clipping it in towards the back post. Again, it's Cher Deng getting there first for the Mariners. Over the top for Malia. Effectively marshalled by Harry Menem. We are going to see another change here. One for each side. That will be the final change available to Mark Crittenden. Just waiting to see if the board will go up. In fact, it won't. So Joey Gibbs will be withdrawn. Double change here for Blacktown City with Julian Rodriguez entering the fray. The other change, Ruben Awaratifi takes his place up top. Yet another one with connections to the coast, of course, spent a season with the Mariners Academy. Sash Kazevsky's been withdrawn for the Mariners there. Makes his way across to the bench. Warm embrace with his coach and substitutes. It was he who provided the assist for this man, Cher Deng. Levelled proceedings earlier in the second half. Hayne Eames has been introduced, as we said, signed that 3-year scholarship deal with the Mariners just a few weeks ago. Recently returned from under-17s international duty as well. Shikluna, Smythe, Eames in the pocket. Hayne Eames. Prendergast has come all the way out to eventually claim it at the third attempt. Well, Hayne Eames, I'll tell you what, that wasn't far away from what would have been some way to really introduce yourself to the Coast faithful. I can tell you that there was quite a few in front of our broadcast position here who are getting quite excited to see what this young man can deliver. Smythe. Didn't quite have his radar set. That's comfortable for Tyron Burney to pick up. He'll have it back as well. Hayne Eames was touch tight. Final touch is off Tyron Burney. Menham. Parker Williams, again, nearly tying himself up a bit there. Able to detangle himself. Duarte back with Rocco Smith. Now Small. Wide it will go. Cherdeng now. Lynch, again looking to go long. Straight down the throat really of Rocco Smith, but it's going to come straight back at them. Awaratifi. Well, that's going to be intriguing for the final 10 or so minutes here at Plume. Awaratifi up against Cherdeng. Two extremely physical competitors. Speaking of physical competitors, Lucas Smythe has done very well to hold that up under the pressure from Grant Lynch. The Mariners now look to reload it once again. Dang and Small. Look. Pops out for Jordan Small. Now Nico Duarte sliding one in for Smythe. Prendergast read it all the way. It's just a little too far ahead of Lucas Smythe. Again, the Mariners are knocking on the door, and again, it's Blacktown looking to return serve immediately. Tyron Burney bursting into the area, and it just broke down. Rodriguez will pick it back up. Fernandez, good-looking feet as well. Maybe took one touch too many. Cherdeng able to emerge with it. And he finds Shikluna in a roundabout sort of way as well. Lynch maintaining good separation there between he and Lucas Smythe. Rocco Smith has done oh so well to pick it back up though. Now Aluk. Parker Williams again inviting the press. And now central it goes to Eames. Duarte. Well, it's broken down once again. And Travis Major now looking to stride forwards. Rocco Smith being forced into a lot of defending. It goes back across the face for Awaratifi. It was a free header for Ruben Awaratifi. The goal perhaps at his mercy. He couldn't quite pick out the bottom corner. Well, that's oh so close for Blacktown. It's been a game that's really, as we said, swung from one end to the other without either side really able to maintain any meaningful spell of dominance. The Mariners turn to look to counter-punch now. Well, it's perhaps the curse of the commentator. Striking once again. Lynch again looking for that long ball. Well, O'Brien's just slipped there. Again, the conditions here at Plume becoming just a little bit greasy on the surface as the sun goes down. The final 5 or so minutes here of regulation time. This one oh so finely poised. Awaratifi Again, across the face it goes, and Rocco Smith, first on scene this time. A challenge he absolutely had to make. But again, it's another set piece for Blacktown as time ticks away. Maniti across to take. Everyone defending here for the Mariners. Swung out again, oh so deep. Cleared as far as Bandiera. Fernandez. He'll get a second go as well. Instead lays it off for Choi! Again, it's a very good save by Wachorski. It's another one he had to make down to his left. Danny Choi denied once again. But they'll have another opportunity here from the corner again. This time, I should say, swung in towards the near post. Harry Menem swung a boot at it and seemingly went straight up in the air, but the spin on the ball took it behind for yet another corner. The corner count really mounting up here for Blacktown City. Jack Wachorski's got a couple of players for company there as well. I fancy they may have just looked to swing this one right in on top of the goalkeeper. Knotted down, only cleared as far as Lynch. And again, a wicked teasing delivery, this time to the back stick from Danny Choi. And yet another Blacktown City corner. They're piling on the pressure here, Blacktown. Swung in towards the near post. Nodded straight up in the air by Fernandez. Lynch. Warren Seafy trying to stretch to reach it. And, well, would you believe it? Yes, another corner here for Blacktown City. Well, not for the first time in this sequence of 78 corners. Vickovic has a bit of sorting out to do in the penalty area there. Manisi eventually able to swing it in towards Fernandez. The final touch this time off Marty Fernandez, so just a goal kick at the end of that sequence. Well, 2 or so minutes of regulation time here to play at Plume. 2 or so minutes plus any time added on to see if either side can break apart what has been so finely poised. Duarte, it's a good turn initially, but unable to retain possession. And Blacktown able to release Danny Choi on this near touch line. He's been oh so dangerous throughout the course of the contest. The cross is deep. It's going to come straight back towards Danny Choi as well, I fancy. Menem able to clean up in the end. Bernie. Back to Travis Major. I thought we might have seen him a bit higher up the pitch as Lynch has slipped. And now Aluk has green grass ahead of him and has his heels clipped as well. We are going to see a yellow card as well brandished. I think that was towards Jackson Bandiera, perhaps. Well, I'll bring you confirmation on that when and if we can, as we tick into the final minutes of regulation time here at Plume Park. All to play for. Between the Mariners and Blacktown. Eames inside for Shikluna. It closed down around him though. It'll pop out for Small. Now Deng. Small with his head on a swivel, but it's Rodriguez who steals in there. And yellow card this time for Rocco Smith, who just broke up the opportunity. Into added time here at Plume Park. I think we saw 4 minutes signalled to be added on. Fernandez just letting it run. Maniti, Lynch. Reloading once again here with Major. Choi, who's been so impressive in this second half. Take nothing away from his first half either. It was pretty decent. Now Bernie. Unable to burn through, and that's a sliding challenge from Bandiera on Hayne Eames. Well, no shortage of spice in this one, that's for certain. Sherdang gets us back underway. Williams. Duarte. Small looks to fizz it out to the opposite touchline. Bandiera getting there ahead of Aluk, but Aluk's stolen a march on Bandiera here. Small. Jordan Small! Good save from Prendergast. He can't hold it though, and now Hayne Eames clipped in towards the back stick. Aluk is arriving, but unable to reach it. And, well, perhaps Hayne Eames may have been better advised to go direct for goal himself there. Well, neither side are going to die wondering. They're leaving it all out on the table here at Plume. Major, again, looking for that ball in behind for Bandiera. My apologies, Bernie, not Bandiera. Harry Menem gets there first and second. Lynch. Maniti. Nick O'Brien. Rodriguez. Well, they can't force their way through. Again, resolute defending. Maniti, arms all over Lucas Smythe there. Duarte able to turn. Finds Jordan Small as well, who'll swing it out to the opposite touchline. Look. Rocco Smith. Well, it can only really be a matter of a minute or so left in this one. Awaratifi now has Sherdang isolated one way and the other. Fairly simply picked out by Shikluna, but he's only found Bandiera with the clearance. Bandiera tangling with Deng. Fernandez. Couldn't dance his way through. Duarte able to pick it up. That's a great touch to take him away as well from Lynch. And now Duarte wants to go through the gears. And what a tackle from Travis Major to halt the advance of Nico Duarte there. Makeshift centre half this afternoon. And in all fairness, he has been excellent. Bernie. O'Brien. Well, not enough time for one final chance there. And perhaps the result of this game deserved so finely poised throughout the entire contest. This one has finished in Lisarow. The Central Coast Mariners Academy 1, Blacktown City 1. It was a goal in the first half to Marty Fernandez, the long ball over the top from Grant Lynch, unlocking the Mariners' defence. They were pegged back in the second half. A towering header from Cherdang, his first of the season. Not a bad time to score it either. The Mariners haul themselves off the foot of the ladder with that point, still in the relegation playoff zone. But another crucial point in their bid for survival oh so late in the season. It's been an absolute pleasure having your company throughout the course of this evening. But from all of us at Football New South Wales and, of course, myself, Pete Pryor, it's bye for now.